Hello, folks. This is William Randolph, and we're here for another micro moment. Okay, the first one went so well, I decided that I wanted to do this again. And the second vendor on the platform is just as valuable and just as dynamic as the first one was. I'd like to introduce you to Kayla Gladney. Kayla Gladney. She was the second vendor on the micro market platform. And hello, Kayla. How you doing?
Hello, William. I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Thank you so much for taking your precious time to come talk to me for a couple of minutes. I just wanted to, one, say thank you, and then two, introduce you to the micro market community. How have you been?
Been pretty good, pretty good. Really excited to be a part of this micro moment and really this larger moment. Whether you're doing with micro market, I think it's definitely needed, definitely necessary. So excited to be part of the early adopters. Yeah, and happy to be here with you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, would you give me a couple of minutes on who you are, what you do, your business, and what
Sure.
are you doing? What are you offering and putting in and offering on the platform?
For sure, for sure. So, um, like you said, my name is Kayla. I am a storyteller and a communication strategist, and I own Donji Media, which is soft launching into Don and Co. So you may hear those things interchangeably, but we are a marketing and communications firm that provides a lot of strategy support around communications deliverables. But it also extends even to team structure and processes when you talk communications. In addition to that, we provide project management support and implementation. So really everything from the idea around communications to the execution of it, we can do the entire gambit. Yeah, and this is what I do full time. I have a team of folks who work with me. We primarily work with purpose driven organizations, companies. So if there is a benefit to the people and the greater good, we like to be a part of telling that story.
I love it. I love it. So talking about individuals with focus and focus on greater good, I can't go without telling the story of how we connected. Um, how we connected is you took the initiative to do a audit assessment, if you will, of my version 1.0 website, and so graciously and kindly said, you need a little help. Okay. And number two is we could help you. I was so very impressed. And that started a journey of getting my getting my website updated and elevated and continue even to now to be have service by you and your team. What does that process look like for you? What how did you come up with that strategy of doing audits? And was I the only one, or did that is that a model that worked for you?
Yeah, so typically I'm very intrigued by people who are actively engaging somewhere on some platform, because to me, it communicates an understanding of the value of communication. One of the things I always say is, regardless of what we're looking at, I like to look at marketing tactics because your marketing is an outward expression of your priorities.
Uh,
There
yes.
is no other way to package that. And so when it appears to me that somebody does have a priority in communications, they just maybe need some support in the execution. We're like, oh, well, let me say something. One, again, I just always appreciate any attempts to be consistent in some way, shape, or form. And typically those folks also seem to be open to any feedback. And
Yeah.
so when I saw you, I was like, I just appreciate. I mean, I just love this. He's on YouTube. Like, I don't know how he's pulling this off, but I appreciate it so much. And it's like, yeah, there's just one little thing. Let's just make sure that where people get funneled into looks good, and brought that to your attention. And so, there's usually a mix there. If there are people we see who are doing things in line with what we, feel like we do, and there's an opportunity like that, I may just go ahead and say something. Otherwise, other people usually are actively searching for some sort of help,
Sure.
and they'll reach out. And we love to be able, it's the same situation though. We say, well, I know you came to us thinking you needed this, but after doing some evaluation, we really think you should put your efforts here. Because again, for us, the goal is to help people reach the folks they want to reach.
Yeah, I love that. I really do. I One of the experiences that I had working with your team is you gave me space to be convinced. And I always like to be convinced because I have lots of ideas rolling around in my head, and then I'll make up my mind, and then then I see something else. It's like, oh no, I want that, I want that, I want that. So that ability to be able to guide customers and clients was very helpful and very much appreciated. Where are you located, and or do you do things locally, or are you a national presence? Are you virtual?
Yeah, so I am physically in Birmingham, Alabama. I have team members in South Carolina, North Carolina, Utah. So we are nationwide. And we've done work with people as close as, in my zip code and as far as away as California. So
Good stuff.
anybody's welcome.
I love it. I love it. So the concept of micro purchasing, had you heard about this before? You know, kind of it was presented to you through Micro Market, and what were your just initial thoughts, whether you've heard it before or through the platform, the concept of micro purchasing in government?
No, so no, I was not aware of it in government. The closest thing I could associate it with was with some of the organizations and corporations we work with. I did know that there was a threshold that if the cost of something was beneath something, they could make a purchase without going through all of the same hoops. And so it sounded similar, but no, I was not aware of it when it came to the government, and it made a lot of sense once you started talking about it because I'm like, not everything needs to be this huge big deal or this whole rigmarole. Sometimes they really just do need something specific and small. And also I think it kind of shifted my perspective of the government in that it is huge, but it's huge because it's a lot of small things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
those small things operate like all of the other small things we know. And so it feel like it just made it a little bit more accessible, I would say.
yeah, yeah. I guess those small things add up. As I tell people all the time, almost $6 to $7 billion worth of micro purchase spending in services every year via the purchase card. So yeah, that's a lot of small things that add up. I have a thought about uh always I like to think about hopes, dreams, and aspirations. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts around hopes, dreams, and aspirations for you, your company, and particularly if this you think this is going to play a role in realizing hopes, dreams, and aspirations for you?
For sure, for sure. So I'll say that my personal vision, right? I don't aim to make the world a better place because better is subjective. I hope to make the world a more efficient place because if things run more efficiently and
Right,
people are able to access the resources that they really already have access to, they can create their own better. So I'm not interested in making better for them. I want people to have the resources and the pathway they need to make their own better. So part of the way that we do this is helping the curators of the resources connect with, reach, engage with the folks who need those resources. Right.
right.
That's how we see our role in the work we do. It's unfortunately for us, the bottom line isn't just shares, impressions, comments. For us, it's what were you hoping to do as a company? Did we help you do that?
Right.
And so when I think about the curator of resources, I don't know that it gets bigger than the federal government, right? Like that is where most people are. And so the idea that we can further extend that vision of mine, that mission of the work we do into a space as influential and as impactful as the government is really exciting. I think we've always had an edge, and maybe you can even speak to this. Part of our edge has always been having that outsider objective point of view that can help poke
Absolutely.
holes in what you thought you knew.
Yep.
And given the other context that we have, I always say, we bring the point of view, we bring the grassroots point of view. And again, you're talking government, who is their biggest audience, their largest customer are us, the taxpayers, right? And so the idea that we could help some of those entities in the same way that we've helped you and other companies is just, I mean, it's really exciting. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how being a part of this platform and having the kind of access we have, through this platform will, allow us to do that on a larger scale.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And with that, it's probably time to wrap up. Any last words for the community, the audience, the vendors on the platform, and specifically customers that may be looking to procure your services?
Yeah, we provide a range of things from kind of I would say set and go services like workshops. We like to do workshops to help people think through, again, some of the stuff we just talked about. So if you're not sure where to start, you can start there. Things that are a little bit more flexible, like just normal consulting hours, right? Not exactly sure where to start. We can do that. And then we also have the digital audit that we provided for William. So if that's something you're interested in, just hearing about how what you're doing could be potentially improved, we have those up on the platform as well. Always open to connecting with folks here on LinkedIn. And if you are a potential buyer or you've done work in this space and you have any recommendations on what else we may need to put up there that people are looking for, we are open to that as well. So just excited to see where this goes.
Awesome, awesome. And with that, thank you so very much, Kayla. And we really appreciate your engagement and participation on the platform and look forward to seeing and hearing about your successes there. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.